Welcome to Teacher Preps. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to write a passing constructed response for the CEOE 085 Special Education exam. This section is worth 15% of your total score, and many test takers struggle with it because they don't know the format. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear framework, see a real example, and understand exactly what the scorers are looking for. Let's get started. The constructed response is worth 15% of your total exam score. Unlike the multiple-choice questions, here you'll read a case study about a student with disabilities and write an extended response. This tests whether you can actually apply your knowledge to real-world situations. Your response will be scored holistically using a rubric, meaning scorers look at the overall quality, not just individual parts. Let's talk time management. You have 4 hours total for the entire exam. 80 multiple-choice questions plus the constructed response. My recommendation, aim to complete the multiple-choice section in about 3 hours. That leaves you 45 to 60 minutes for the constructed response. Do not rush this section. A well-organized, thorough response takes time. Budget at least 10 minutes just for reading and analyzing the case study before you start writing. Here's what you'll see in the case study. First, background information about the student, their age, grade level, disability category, and current placement. Second, assessment data. This includes test scores, classroom observations, and behavioral data. Third, information about current services, IEP goals, related services, and accommodations. And fourth, specific questions telling you exactly what to address. Critical tip. Read the entire case study and the questions before you start writing. You need to know what's being asked before you can plan your response. Every constructed response requires 4 tasks. Task 1, analyze and interpret the assessment data. Task 2, identify the student's strengths and needs. You must include both. Don't just focus on deficits. Task 3, recommend evidence-based strategies to address the needs. And Task 4, develop a progress monitoring plan to track growth. If you miss any of these 4 components, you will lose points. Let's break down each one. For Task 1, you need to understand assessment scores. Standard scores, 85 to 115 is average range. Below 85 indicates below average performance. For percentile ranks, 25th to 75th percentile is average. Below 25th percentile is below average. When analyzing data, look for patterns across multiple measures. Look for discrepancies. For example, if verbal skills are strong but written expression is weak. Compare scores to grade-level benchmarks. Always reference specific numbers from the case study in your response. For Task 2, you identify strengths and needs. Let's start with strengths. Every strength statement must be based on actual data from the case study. Don't make things up. It must be specific and observable and educationally relevant. Here's an example. According to the cognitive assessment, Marcus demonstrates a strength in visual spatial reasoning, scoring in the high average range with a standard score of 118. This strength can be leveraged through graphic organizers, visual schedules, and hands-on learning activities. Notice how I cited the specific score and explained how to use the strength instructionally. Now, for needs. Every need statement must include specific data from the case study. Cite the actual numbers. Explain the educational impact. How does this need affect learning? And prioritize when there are multiple needs. Here's an example. Assessment data indicate that Marcus demonstrates significant needs in reading fluency, reading only 45 words correct per minute on grade-level passages compared to the benchmark of 100 words correct per minute. This impacts his ability to access grade-level content across all subject areas. Notice specific data, comparison to benchmark, and educational impact. For Task 3, you recommend strategies. Every strategy description needs 4 components. What? Name and describe the strategy. Why? Explain how it addresses the identified need. How? Describe key implementation steps. And connect. Link the strategy to the assessment data and student strengths. Critical point. Strategies must be evidence-based. Use approaches that research supports for students with similar needs. Don't make up strategies. Use established methods like repeated reading, explicit instruction, or the CRA approach for math. Task 4 is your progress monitoring plan. Include 6 components: what to measure, the specific skill or behavior; how to measure, the assessment tool or method you'll use; how often, the frequency, like weekly or bi-weekly; which I will measure, typically the special education teacher; a goal or benchmark, the target for student performance; and decision rules. This is critical. Explain when you'll adjust instruction. For example, if 3 consecutive data points fall below the aim line, the team will meet to increase intervention intensity. Here's your framework. 5 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, data analysis. Summarize key assessment findings and identify patterns. Paragraph 2, strengths. Describe 2 to 3 strengths with specific data and how to leverage them. Paragraph 3, needs. Describe 2 to 3 priority needs with data and educational impact. Paragraph 4, strategies. Your evidence-based interventions with what, why, and how. Paragraph 5, progress monitoring. Your complete monitoring plan with decision rules. This structure ensures you hit every scoring criterion. Before we look at a mock example, I want you to know that our complete CEOE 085 study guide at teacherpreps.com includes additional constructed response examples, a full breakdown of the scoring rubric, an 80-question practice test, and all 15 competencies explained in detail. Visit teacherpreps.com or click the link in the description. Now let's look at a mock case study and response. Here's a mock case study similar to what you'll see on the exam. Meet Jalen, a 9-year-old third grader with a specific learning disability in reading. He receives 60 minutes daily of specialized reading instruction. His assessment data shows verbal comprehension standard score of 1 to 12, that's high average. Perceptual reasoning at 108, average. But his reading fluency is only 42 words correct per minute when the benchmark is 90. Reading comprehension is at the 18th percentile. Math is at the 55th percentile. Average. Teacher observations note he participates well in discussions and has strong oral vocabulary, but avoids reading tasks and gets frustrated during timed activities. Here's how to write paragraph 1. Your data analysis. Notice what I did. I cited specific scores: verbal comprehension 112, perceptual reasoning 108, fluency at 42 words compared to the 90-word benchmark. I identified the discrepancy between cognitive ability and reading performance. I noted that math is average, showing this is a reading-specific issue. And I connected the teacher observations to the assessment data. This paragraph shows the scorer you can interpret data and see patterns. Paragraph 2 covers strengths. Notice, I identified multiple strengths: verbal comprehension, perceptual reasoning, and oral participation. For each strength, I cited specific data. And critically, I explained how each strength can be leveraged instructionally. High verbal skills means use read-alouds and discussions. Visual reasoning means use graphic organizers. Loves verbal participation? Use readers' theater and paired reading. The scorer wants to see that you understand how to build on what students can do. Paragraph 3 addresses needs. I identified fluency as the primary need and comprehension as secondary. I cited specific data: 42 words per minute versus the 90-word benchmark, 18th percentile for comprehension. I explained the educational impact: he can't access grade-level content. I showed how needs connect. Slow decoding uses up cognitive resources needed for comprehension. And I addressed the social-emotional impact: frustration and avoidance. This shows comprehensive understanding of how needs affect the whole student. Paragraph 4 presents strategies. Notice the structure. I named the strategy, repeated reading with feedback. I explained its evidence-based and described how to implement it. I connected to the student's strengths, his verbal skills support partner reading. I included a second strategy for comprehension: explicit instruction with visualization and summarization. I connected this to his visual perceptual strength. Every strategy is research-supported, clearly described, and linked back to the student's profile. This is what scorers look for. Paragraph 5 is your progress monitoring plan. Look at every component. What? Oral reading, fluency probes, and maze passages. How? Weekly 1-minute timed readings. WHO, special education teacher. Goal, 70 words by semester, 90 by year end with specific starting point noted. Decision rules, if 3 points fall below aim line, increase intensity. I even specified how to increase intensity, and I included parent communication. This comprehensive plan shows the scorer you understand database decision-making. Let's break down why this response passes. First, it cites specific data throughout, actual scores and numbers, not vague statements. It addresses all 4 required tasks. It includes both strengths and needs. Many test takers forget strengths. Strategies are evidence-based and clearly explained. Strategies connect to the student's strengths. The progress monitoring plan includes decision rules. The response shows reasoning. It explains why, not just what. And it's well organized with clear paragraphs. Hit these points and you'll pass. Here are the common mistakes that cause people to fail. Writing vague statements like, the student struggles without citing actual scores. Forgetting to include strengths. This is huge. Recommending strategies that aren't research supported. Having a progress monitoring plan with no decision rules for adjusting instruction. Not explaining how to implement strategies. Running out of time and not finishing. And not addressing all parts of the prompt. Avoid these and you're ahead of most test takers. Final tips for success. 1. Read the entire case study and the questions before writing. Know what you need to address. 2. Underline or note key data points as you read. 3. Take 2 to 3 minutes to outline your 5 paragraphs before writing. 4. Follow the 5-paragraph framework I showed you. 5. Cite specific data in every single paragraph. 6. Leave 5 minutes at the end to review and check that you addressed everything. You've got this. You now know exactly how to write a passing constructed response for the CEOE 085. Remember, use the 5-paragraph framework, cite specific data, include both strengths and needs, recommend evidence-based strategies, and create a progress monitoring plan with decision rules. For complete coverage of all 15 competencies, additional examples, our 80-question practice test, and interactive vocabulary trainer, visit teacherpreps.com. Click the link in the description for instant access. You've got this. Good luck on your exam.